Hey guys, it's Postbox Pat. Welcome back to a new video, and today I'm going to be telling you guys how to become a pro within Season 4. Now, there's a bunch of tips that I'm going to be talking about in this video that are really going to help you guys out. Locations where to land to get a lot of kills. So the top two locations so far to land are Risky Reels and obviously Dusty Devo. Them two locations, you're going to get absolute tons of kills. You can finish games on 7+ kills every single time from solo, duo and squad. So if you're going for a lot of kills and you want to improve your style of play, you're going to get absolute tons in them zones. So go there, get a load of kills and increase your chance of getting high kill games. But what else do you need to learn from that? Well, it's quite basic. Obviously, the new jumping system is pretty important to understand. Now, I'm going to be going over a bunch of footage where I show you guys me using that, showing you how long it lasts for. This is probably the most useful tip I've probably given in a while. The duration of this is 30 seconds exactly. In this video now, it's a 30 seconds clip, and to be honest, having that and knowing that it's 30 seconds is pretty key, because when you're using this, you want to use it and then switch back to it and then go off it. So what I mean by that, you want to make sure you're getting your timing just perfect. So what I'd do is I'd use the clock in the right corner, roughly kind of calculate whereabouts you were on the clock, and after about 20 seconds go and find a new one, because you're going to need these jumpy things quite often to win battles, especially in Dusty Devo. Now, there is a way of beating people who don't use this thing, but when I use it, I always have good advantage on people. I can get good height on people. I can get a good chunk of kills using this method and get some good hits by getting that height. And people get pretty scared if you're jumping around and they're trying to build and you're getting at least over their structure straight away. It's quite scary to happen, and to be honest, when you're in Dusty Devo on solo later on in the game, early on it's different, it's very hectic early on, but later on, if you're coming here later on because say the circle's over it, you got to be pretty stealthy. And when I say stealthy, not stealthy in just hiding away, you've got to be aware of everybody around you. Now, if you look on my minimap here, there are 4 people in this fight right now. One of them's already bailed, 2 of them are left in. At this point in the gameplay, I only really thought it was 1 person, to be fair. I didn't realize there was 2 at this point. I didn't really focus on the skins. So there's 2 characters, they're fighting it out, and what I'm doing, using my advantage with the height here, using my porta-fort, I got up high and I got in a good position where I wait for them to kill each other and then swoop in for the kill. Now, easily they could have killed me, and easily I could have played more aggressive. If I played more aggressively there in that situation, I possibly would have lost it. So understanding different situations, using your jumping thing, and when it runs out, playing more stealthy around Dusty Devo is definitely worth it. I don't mean playing super stealthy so it's like a passive play. I just mean playing like stealth aggressive, so you're there but you're always moving so people don't know exactly where you've gone. That's what's key about it, and that's what you guys need to consider when trying to win on Fortnite Battle Royale within Season 4. Now, when it comes to build battles on Season 4, I'm going to be bringing another video out on this, but build battles are something where you don't have to be an expert builder to win every single build battle. Now, there are tons and tons of people within the community. I'm just going to wind it back so it goes a little bit earlier in the gameplay here. There are tons and tons of people in the community who can build exceptionally well. Myself would probably rate about 7 out of 10 for building. I wouldn't rate myself 10 out of 10. The likes of 10 out of 10 would possibly be like Rain and people like that. There are people out there who can build extremely well. I don't know if I'd give Rain 10 out of 10, but at least 9 out of 10. There are some people out there who can build extremely well on console, and to outbuild people is quite difficult on console edition. In this situation here, I purposely trap myself in this 1x1 so I don't take damage from the enemies. It's quite a cool technique. What I've done here is I've done this purposely to heal up. It's basically turtling up but confusing your enemies. Now, you'll watch me with the camera. Because I'm on the replay mode, I'm going to show you guys some stuff that I can use with my camera to get some good angles and some good shots. So what I'm doing around here is I'm just maneuvering around. I know there's a few people around here, and I'm simply just kind of mixing up my style of play. Playing 100% aggressive in this situation is quite risky, and you can do it, especially if you're on like squads or duo, but sometimes on solo, if you're desperate for that victory royale, and the average game, like we always see players online, like you see the Twitch streamers and stuff, and they play extremely aggressive. That's because that's how their style of play is, and they've done it so much. If you're a casual player and you just want to get that easy win and that victory royale, you want to kind of play a little bit off aggressive. If you play it all the time, yes, you can play aggressively. For example, I play aggressively all the time in squads and duos. But however, if you're watching me on solo, sometimes I'll turn it off and just kind of be like, you know, you gotta position yourself here. I'm just being very logical, working out where that guy's built to, knowing that he's going to take full damage. An easy kill there for me. I got that kill easily. I got the 4 damage kill. It does say 0 kills there, it's just glitched out on the replay mode, but I just got that kill then. Then again, now I know there's another player somewhere else. Now I know I've got a launch pad in my inventory. I'm sorry that you can't see my inventory, but what I do, I didn't know where he was. I see that building to my left, I get shot for 95 damage, which is quite high this late in the game, and what I do is I bail from here. In this position now where I've landed, I see him using my launch pad to escape. There he is, he tries building up to me, but then I force him back with my scar and build again. Again, trapping myself in. Pretty cool technique. He thinks I'm actually at the top right now. However, I'm underneath. A very useful technique, unless he's going to destroy the bottom of my structure, then it would kind of be over for me. So knowing that he's built that 1x1 out there, thinking, he's probably going to be building it a lot higher. So let's zoom out of here and see exactly what's going on. Now, looking at other players, this can also give you guys some tips in the future on how possibly you could have beaten me in this situation, and also how you guys can kind of just get really good at the game in all situations. So what's going on here? I'm just checking for the third player. I couldn't figure out exactly where he was, and eventually I figured out that he was in the bush. So lol, we have a bush camper alert. But let's keep going with this. So what this player's done here is he's built a ramp and he's hidden behind it. He's not covered his back at all. He's not covered any of his angles. I'm still in here healing up. This guy is just built, he covered his back finally now, but he still left that right side open. Now that other player in the bush technically could have engaged in this guy because he knew exactly where he was. Now if I was this guy, what I would have done is I would have built up at least one more layer, so I'm one higher than the structure I've built, because this is just giving me the advantage right now. I see him place that. As soon as he places that, I feel like he's going to try building up. He tries building up. He doesn't do it very well. What I do is I quickly place the walls. Nice and easy done. Then I switch to my semi-automatic shotgun and take him out pretty quickly. Pretty easy, that situation. I knew what I was doing. I knew how to build. I built cleverly, not fast, just clever. There's two different things between building fast and building clever or building correctly. You've got to just know how to build. There's no point. If you can build fast, but you don't know what you're doing, there's just no point. It's better to understand and know what you're doing rather than build super fast. That's what I've gathered anyway. The better builders are the ones who know what to do. Now, if you can build fast and you know what to do, fair enough, you're going to be an exceptional player. But if you don't 100% know how to build fast, I can build fast, I just choose not to. I like to put a lot of thought into my placement and movement, but I think it's quite clever understanding the building mechanics, and switching it on between fast and slow is something that I like to do a lot. Now, in this situation where I am now, this guy in the bush, I didn't know he was in the bush. There was there was a little thought that gave me a thought he's most likely in this bush, but I also thought he was behind the rock, which is to my left. You can see me up there at the top. I didn't realize he was in this bush. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of just chilling up there, just thinking, where could this guy actually be? And he's actually camping in the bush. So what I'm doing is I'm just completely planning my route down. I plan my route down into the storm. This is something you guys should always do in the last the last circle. Best thing to do is always build out of metal if you're going to build, if you've got the opportunity to build. If you haven't got the opportunity, use wood, obviously. So this guy's actually, I don't know what he was doing. In his situation now, I would have engaged me with a ramp rush, but for some reason he decided to go round the outside of the circle, keeping himself to the edge, which doesn't work in a 1v1 situation. I switched to my third person view. You can see me suppressing him, and this is a technique that I really want to highly suggest to a lot of people: switching weapons. Now, I see a lot of players out there, they shoot someone with a shotgun, instantly they'll switch to the AR to finish them off, for example. Understanding how much damage you've dealt to a player is very key. It's something that me and Rain do all the time in duos and squads. I see it so much. It's absolutely amazing. It's one of them techniques that I really love. For example, if you hit someone with a sniper, switch the AR straight away and start suppressing them. You're going to get tons and tons of damage off that way, and it's going to work extremely well. I personally think if you guys were to do that with a shotgun, AR, SMG, depending on the situation you're in, you could get an easy kill very, very quickly. It's something that I like to do a lot. I don't do it so much in solo, but in duo and squad, it's something that you have to do because you need to get that player killed instantly and get them out the game. Getting them out the game as quick as possible is going to give you a huge advantage in that duo situation. If there's 2v1, you're going to have a huge advantage, especially if it's two very talented players against someone who may be a talented player, but if there's two of you, you're going to have a very good chance of killing them. Me and Rayan on duo the other day when the game actually released, the update season 4, we actually got 8 wins in total, which was crazy. A few wins like that before on squad. Me and Rain won about 12 squad in a row, which is absolutely mad. But you know, you don't get that many like wins that often, and sometimes when you're playing like duo and stuff, you can get them big streaks if you're doing the right technique. So in this gameplay right now, it's just me on solo going to Dusty Diva. Now it's a technique that I would recommend for anybody out there. Don't drop straight away at Dusty Diva, because you're going to get absolutely mowed down if you don't get a weapon straight away, and even if you're on solo, you're just going to get taken out. Now squad and duo, it's slightly different because you can come out winning or on top. However, you may lose a squad member, or there may only be 2 of you left. Now what I like to do on this is building with the jumpy thing is just really funny. It sounds really obvious, but building with the jumpy thing is just absolutely hilarious. And to be honest, some of my shots here are really inaccurate, but when you can build so quickly, people just get so confused what's going on. You can get in some good positions, and what I'm doing here is I'm just testing out the AR. I know this guy's not going to be able to kill me. I know I've got this guy pretty easily, so I'm just testing out my AR, building nicely, testing out the shotguns and stuff. I personally think when using the jumpy stuff, the shotgun probably is the best thing to use, but other things like SMGs and things like that, to be honest, it's all situational. But I really like the jumpy things, and it's something that you guys should get to know and understand what they are, because they're going to be in the game for a while, at least for the entire season 4. I don't know about season 5, so you want to get your head around these new jumpy things. It's a whole new kind of meta. Everything has just changed completely. The idea of Fortnite is still there, but this huge jumping is just really going to change the style of play this season, and especially as the season develops, we're probably going to see more meteorites hits probably all over the ground, or something different, maybe more of these like points spawning, or maybe we could even see them getting taken out of the game. I personally don't think Dusty Diva is going to be here. Like when Dusty Diva does get removed, I personally think they're definitely going to take these out of the game, because there's just no point in not having them. There's no point having them really if Dusty Diva isn't here, because what makes it useful in Dusty Diva is because the open area is massive. Like the crater is huge. It's probably bigger than Tilted Towers, like the area of Tilted Towers. So you want to have that jumping ability to travel around pretty quick, because it's really open and it's in a crater. So it makes perfect sense why they're in the game here. But when you go to other places on the map, for example Fatal, just slightly outside of Fatal Fields, or maybe you went to Moisty Mire, and you go to prison or somewhere like that, you can get absolute not tons, you get a few chunks of these, about 4 or 5 spawning, and usually if the squad gets them, or if someone gets one and you don't have one, you're in a huge disadvantage. So learning to fight with these on and off at Dusty Diva is something that you guys should definitely do on solo. You will learn a lot. Now, like I suggested, don't land here straight away, because you're just going to get a lot of disadvantages, and you're not really going to have as much experience as you'd want to gain from this. So practicing in Dusty Diva, by going to Dusty Diva late game or mid game, you're going to get a lot more entertaining fights rather than going straight at the start. If you're one of them people that does enjoy dropping on locations like this, then fair enough, do it. But if you don't like dropping on high populated areas, just don't do it and go there later on, because you'll notice I've played several games in the past where when Tilted was the most popular location, I would always go to Tilted later on rather than just dropping there. I have won several games just dropping there straight away, but it's not something that I intend on doing every single time. When I play Fortnite, I like to land areas where I can get a good amount of loot and then go and get a good chunk of kills. They're the good games for me. Getting above 7 kills for myself is a good game. You see tons of people on YouTube getting like 20, 30 kills. I personally don't think that's 100% necessary every single game. Obviously, it's awesome when you get the odd game. My highest kill game is about 22. It's not that many, to be fair, but there's a lot of people out there who get like 35 kills sometimes, and it's just crazy to see how many kills some people can get. But it's not always about how many kills you get in Fortnite, it's down to how you play. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you're new around here, stick around for daily Fortnite content. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, this is Postbox Pat, signing out.